Welcome to St. John Paul II Church. Here we are out front. We're having this video for you. It's very bare bones. There's not a lot to this, and so we're just going to keep to the facts and that. And we're outside here. And one of the things is when you come and you get out of your car, you need to put a mask on at that time, and then come out. And then come over to the church, and then you're just going to process in here into the church. The doors are open already. You won't have to open any doors and that. You don't have to touch the handles and that. And we'll watch Deacon John here as he goes ahead of us and leads us in. Well, here we are in front of the church here, the front doors, and this is where we come in. And if you don't have a mask, we really ask you to bring your own mask because we only have so many extra masks. But as you can see, an usher will get you a mask if you don't have one, and you see Deacon John put his on. And we're just walking in here, walking through the doors. The doors are all open, so you don't have to touch them. And now you see these arrows on the floor. They are telling us which way to go. And when we're entering the church, we're not going to go down the side aisles. We are going to go down the main aisle, and that's where the ushers will be. And when you look down this aisle, you will see the usher down there, and you can see Deacon John walking down there, but there'll be an usher to guide him to where he's supposed to be. So Deacon John is playing the part of our usher here. So he's going to bring us down. He's waving us on, and we're going to go up to the front of the church. And you'll notice as you go along, there's pews that are completely blanked out. They've got a little ribbon here so as to not go into that pew, and that's to keep us 6 feet apart. And you can also see there's a sign that says, "Do not enter," on that. So the usher's going to bring you into the first pew because we're the first people. And if when we join in, I want to show you what's on these pews and that. So what you'll see is that there are signs. And where the signs are, you cannot sit. Do not sit there. And that's to keep the 6 feet apart. So what will be happening is every other pew, there will be people on one end and people on the other end. And you don't want to what you want to do, you get in that pew, and if your hand reaches out and can touch the person with the other hand, you want to keep that distance there. So we could basically have about 2 or 3 people on the ends of each pew to be safe. So you might have to split your family up a little bit, just so you know that. And we're asking everybody to wear their mask. As you see, I'm wearing my mask right now, the whole mask. So if you could please do that. So we want to film a little of this, what communion will be like. And so Deacon John is going to play the part of a person in the pew. He gets up and he waits his turn to be able to come out. And then he goes to the cross on the floor. That's his spot that he stops at each place. And then he comes up and he puts the hand sanitizer on his hand. There'll be hand sanitizers further back so you can get this done quicker, so you don't have to be waiting up until the front. But for the front pews, there's going to be a hand sanitizer right up front. And so when it's his turn, he comes forward. And I say the body of Christ. Amen. And notice John is grabbing it from my hand. So I hold it up like this, and he can touch it without me touching it. And then he's going to step 6 foot to the left. If you're on the right side, you go 6 foot to the right, but 6 foot to the left, and then he's going to pull his mask down and consume it. And then he can go back to his spot. And you will just go up the side aisle as you normally do. As you come into communion, you will stand on the plus sign, and when each person moves, you'll move to the next plus sign, which is the cross also. And Deacon John is going to show us that he's going to spray his hands back there so he doesn't have to do it up front. So the line is moving, he comes to the next plus sign and stops, the next cross, and then the line is moving, so he comes to the next cross and stops, and so forth. I think we get the picture. All right, that's what communion is going to look like. Now we need to talk about the end of the Mass. And certainly I will be giving everybody dismissal, and the deacon will say, go and announce the good news of the Lord. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our ushers release people starting from the back, so that there isn't a huge crowd in the back of church leaving. So you lucky people who showed up first and seated up first, you're going to have to wait to leave. And then when it's finally comes turn, you're not going to go out the center aisle. You're not going to go out that center aisle, because everybody is going to be if we did that, everybody would be crisscrossing and on top of each other, and we don't want that. So when you leave, you're going to go out to the side aisle, as you see Deacon John heading to the side aisle. And he's just going to head out that way. As you come out the side doors, if you're on the left, you're going to go out the left doors, because we want to keep things as least as congested as possible. So that's what we'll be doing as far as exiting. If you're on the right side, you'll go out the doors on the right. So when you first come in here and get to your pew, and if you're the first in this pew, you're going to go all the way down to the end to grab your seat. And what will be placed here ahead of time is the bulletin and the song sheets. There may be 2 song sheets on each end. And that will get you the music for the service. And then you would take the bulletin home with you. We're going to clean all these out and these pews out, but if you could take the bulletin with you home and take the song sheets with you and put them in recycling, and we're going to refresh that every Mass. So here we are on the parking lot. And when you pull in, if you're coming to church, if you're coming inside of the church, this is the right side that I was talking about. You're going to park over on this side of the church, on this side of the parking lot. Now, if you're coming to receive communion outside, you're going to go on this side of the parking lot. And you can see that there's things blocking this side for outdoor communion in particular, so that people who are not going to outdoor communion will park on the right side. And you'll pull up like those cars are. You're just going to face this way. There's going to be a tent over there against where the handicap parking spaces are. You won't be able to use those at this time. And there'll be a tent there, and that's where we're going to give out communion. There's going to be a speaker broadcasting the Mass, and it's very loud. So you won't have to worry about where you are on the parking lot. If there's a lot of people here and you're parked towards the back, you still will be able to hear the speaker. If you want to, you could also watch it on YouTube in your car. So you're welcome to do either one of those things. When it comes time for communion, we're asking you to stay 6 feet apart. Let one car, the people get out of that car and come up, and then once they're out of their car and away from you, you can get out of your car and come up. But we're gonna keep 6 feet separation between, and there's going to be some hand sanitizer on a table before you come up to communion. So you'll use that hand sanitizer.